So
Okay, let's see. So post that in the main Discord. That's up. Um,
mhm.
and then we'll give people a few minutes to kind of just slowly trickle in as before properly getting started. Let's make sure.
Okay, there we go.
Is it should be out, right?
Alrighty,
Yeah, okay, I see it.
it is.
So yeah, I'll give people a little bit to trickle in. Um,
Okay.
there goes my phone notifying me.
Yep.
Did you know that Schizomac is live? Yes. Stop acknowledging me to myself, fucker. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Oh, it's gonna rain tomorrow. God damn it.
Oh boy.
Life is never easy. It's okay. I guess
Yeah.
quick question. I guess for the Japan thing, what city should I use as the baseline for
Uh,
going?
well, I think for the most part, it's just going to be either Tokyo Haneda or Narita because those are because out of all of the Japanese destinations, there's really realistically from international flights, there's only going to be there's going to be basically only three airports that people are going.
Oh,
Apex,
hey,
congrats,
let's go, Apex. Let's go.
congrats. So yeah, because basically most flights will be to, well, you usually would put TYO.
Oh, okay.
TYO includes Narita and Haneda, and the other international destination, or the other airport that usually international airlines fly to is Osaka or KIX, but that's very rare and not many not many destinations to Osaka, so you want to do TYO. Um,
So just mainly Narita and Haneda then.
Yeah, Narita and Haneda. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ryan, that's right. How you doing?
yeah. After 2.5 years, exactly, it's overdue.
Yeah,
It's
and
overdue.
a lot of things have changed um, for the better, and
I'm gonna
well,
pay.
I
I'm gonna
wouldn't say
pay. I want people to
yeah.
come in to recognize that
Apex, yeah.
my boy Apex has accomplished a goal that many people attempt and not everyone succeeds. So, congrats to the
Yeah.
boy. Congrats to the boy Apex for his accomplishments. He's out
Yeah.
here killing the game like usual. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it. Sorry, I had a moment. Um, but
Mhm.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As people are slowly but surely starting to trickle in here, it is I, the Schizomanic, welcome you guys back to another stream. So yesterday was a bit of Pokemon insanity with KG, Nessa, and Richie. Today is technically a follow up to a video that has been 2.5 years into the making. So actually, no, I'm gonna hover so you can see it. Oh no, it's gonna refresh. No, okay, I muted it. We're good. This video is from May 3rd of 2023 is when we recorded this original one.
Yes.
And this original video was going over the general steps and kind of like I would say a generalized view on how to plan your trip and to then proceed with your trip going to Japan. And TSS I think mentioned to me was I think it was this year that was mentioned where it was like
Yes.
it probably needs to be updated because of some amendments he wants to make of things he didn't know then that he knows now or things he's become aware of or things that have just generally changed in what you should or should not do to plan your trip to Japan. Additionally, there's just some general new information he wants to add in here. This video is not flawed in the context of its complete trash or anything. This is more of like here's some corrections and more information. If that, I
Yeah.
think,
So essentially, what we're going to be doing this time is, aside from the amendments, I'm also going to. This is going to serve as a video of a door-to-door description of what exactly is going to happen. Um, I did touch on it a little bit because I still have the notes from last time, but what I want to do is I want to give you knowledge on what to do from leaving your house to getting to your destination. And I want to elaborate on it and give some advice because a lot of people they're very like shy and apprehensive to try to just, hop on a plane for freaking 13 to 25 hours. So, I'm going to give you some tips on what to do, how to prepare yourself, and just basically give you the exact experience, including like customs and everything. Because things have changed as I've meant as me and Terrell have mentioned. So I guess we're gonna get to it.
So
So
I so essentially
mhm.
before some of you guys might still be trickling in. I think the best thing to do is create a kind of an imaginary position. So I'm gonna pick somewhere in the U.S. I'm gonna pick Arizona for example as a
uh, yeah, let's do Phoenix.
Phoenix. Okay,
Yeah, so go from like Phoenix. Yeah,
there we go.
Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah,
Wow,
PHX.
wow, they got a bunch of them. Okay, we'll just start with this one. Now, I think you've covered this before, but just to reiterate, what would be the best dates? Also, also it's Tokyo, Japan. We did both airports in Tokyo, Japan as our baseline
Yes.
for where to in Japan to fly to.
So basically, as I mentioned the last time, the sweet spot in the springtime would be anywhere between the end of April and the beginning of June, or the end of May. So we'll do we'll do it on like a Tuesday. So let's do April 14th to the 28th.
And this will give you kind of a general pricing of how much these flights will cost, which is already looking damn, that's looking pretty good actually. I'm low key mad because I for those who don't
Yeah.
know, I don't have these prices because
Now
life
that's
is hard.
basic economy. Now if you click on one of those, if you click on one of those right now, the United Airlines one, right? The United
Uh
Airlines, not that one, no.
oh, this
Because that
one.
because that because that because that's gonna transfer you at Taipei. Um, let's click on let's click on one of the United ones because you see that there is basic economy. Now, the thing is though, you have to remember that we're gonna need to have two checked bags. So let's see the different if you click on it, if you click on one of them, click
We'll
on one
go,
of the United.
order this one.
Okay. Then we're gonna go down, and then we're gonna go to select, and then
Usually
there
it would
should
just
be a
show on the
way.
right. Yeah.
There we go. Economy. The regular economy. So that's the real price. The real price would be about $1,300, which is really good. That's actually really good.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
standard.
that itinerary is okay. That's actually pretty good. So if we go on the right, it shows that this is an itinerary to Narita. That's the airport. That's a little bit further, but it's fine. So you have a 2 hour 20-minute layover in San Francisco, and then you arrive at 2:55 p.m. That's pretty good. Coming back, that's also very good as well. So you have about 2 hour window, but this time you're coming from Los Angeles. So this is an itinerary that I would consider good if you cannot get a nonstop.
Yeah. So the sweet
It's
price,
a good, yeah,
as far as pricing is concerned, I would
depending
say
on where you are.
this is
Thir-
anything
13.
around this lower or maybe a little bit higher is
Yeah,
okay.
I would say from experience, from that time of year, anywhere between 12 and 1600 is fine. Anywhere between 12 and 1500 is fine. 11 is good too. 11 anywhere between 11 and $1,500 is really good. Really solid price.
Yeah. Now if you can get it cheaper, more power to you. But you know,
It depends on time of year and exchange rate and whatever.
is there any other date range you would want to suggest?
Let's do. See, the problem is we're in December right now, so let's go down to September and October. There we go. Let's do September 8th to the 22nd. Let's see what the difference there is. Remember, we're still a long time here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll probably be So if we click on that and we go to the regular one, it'll probably be around 1100.
I'm
So
like,
let's pick the first one. Let's pick the first one, for example, and then let's go. That's premium economy. Okay, so they don't have the
Oh, they don't have. Is it because it's still loading at the top? There it is.
Maybe it is. Hold on. Yep, there it is. Yeah, 1150. See, that's all. So that's pretty good too. So obviously, direct flights are going to cost more. One stops if you can get it in the United States, wherever you are, and you get an itinerary like that, where 1 hour is kind of, but
I think
1 hour is kind of a tight window.
it's not bad considering I've had 30-minute windows between states.
Yeah, but this is the thing is though, this is a international flight, and you're still gonna have to you're probably gonna have to check your passport and stuff. Well, I think you'll be fine. Depends on how far you're gonna need to go. And then the one coming back, what's the thing there? 12:05, 1 hour 20. That's still kind of close because you still have to go through customs in here. But then again, though, I'm pretty sure that if you miss the flight, they'll put you on the next flight anyway.
Yeah.
Because since United is a hub and spoke airline, they usually have multiple flights going between the hubs all day. So they'll probably just put you on another flight
Yeah.
if you miss that window. So yeah, so that's about good. So yeah, so as I mentioned last time, either end of April to the end of May, or the first week of September up until like just before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because of where we're at, they don't have obviously any of these dates
Yeah.
set up yet. That's why these are just straight white. But we pretty much
Yes.
already have the rest of the year situated. With the only real overly green spots is a little bit in April. I think there's a couple in February. February is also apparently seems to be on.
Well, yeah, February, yeah, anywhere in February also, but remember that it's going to be, well, I mean, it's cold, but it's not that bad. I mean,
Depending on what depending on what you're used
yeah.
to, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much: in the coldest month is February, and if you're in Tokyo, then the average high is going to be around 45, 50 degrees, which is not bad. That's
Yeah, especially if you're used to the 30s or 20s or less
Yeah.
than single digits.
Yeah, so for the folks that are trying to convert, it's like anywhere between like about 8 degrees to 10 degrees C during the day, and they're probably like maybe 3 or 4 degrees C at night. So about 30, 36, 39, 40 degrees at night. It doesn't really change. Yes, snow happens in Japan. It's rare. Like in Tokyo, it's rare, but it does happen. And normally, at the worst, I've seen it. The temperature would go down to 32, like 30 degrees, 32, which would be like 0. So it's not, but that's a rarity. Most of the time, it's warmer than being in like the Northeast United States, for example.
Right.
So that's fine.
So I guess I know you said you want to do the door-to-door experience. So
Yes.
let's say we were starting with, I don't know, let's say we're doing the September flight, right? You
Yes.
start here, you book your flight.
Yep.
What's next?
Okay. So the day arrives. So before we do that, I'm going to make a few addendums to what I mentioned last time. Now, if you remember last time, I mentioned about getting a hotspot. However, though, with the advancement of eSIM technology and also phones supporting more bands, I would highly suggest getting an eSIM instead. There are two companies that you would be very interested in. One is one that I have used in the past to Japan, including live streaming, and it's called Ubigi. And you can get a 50 gigabyte plan. I mean, I only got 50 gigabytes because it's there. But as you can see, it's $55. Now that's pretty cheap for 50 gigs for 30 days. Which is, you scroll down, and then 50. Don't get the unlimited. Get the 50 gig plan, because that's $55. That should be enough. Now, normally when I do like 2 weeks, even with live streaming, I've used only about 21 gigs or 20 gigs. But I always want to take 50 because you never know if you can't find like Wi-Fi or anything like that. Now, the only caveat with Ubigi is that the exit point for the internet is actually in France. And let me explain exit points really quickly. You are going to still go through the towers in Japan, obviously, and you're going to be roaming data. But the entry point to the internet, or the exit point as they call it, is actually going to be in a foreign country. It's actually going to be in France. Now that does increase the latency a little bit, but not enough to the point where I would consider it unusable. As a matter of fact, I use an iPhone 13 Pro as a hotspot with the eSIM, and this works fine. I get 5G coverage in Tokyo, and it works
So I guess
perfectly fine. And I get
quickly
the
explain to people, for those who may need a refresher, why you would want to use an eSIM.
The reason being is, compared to the old hotspots, flagship phones with the bands that are supported by Japan would either be like an iPhone or a Galaxy S phone. Those have much faster radios in them, and it will give you much faster speeds.
So essentially, just so I understand, let's say you buy. Okay, let's say this is the eSIM I want, right? You buy
Yes.
the eSIM. What would you do from there? Let's say you've never
What you're
set up. I'm
you
just
have
going from the perspective
yeah.
of someone who's never done it
Sure.
before.
Sure. They have instructions on the website, but basically what you're going to do is, if you're on an iPhone, it'll give you a prompt to add an eSIM from your cellular menu, and then you could select which SIM you want as the default. So you're going to download the Ubigi app too, and then you're going to set up the account. You're going to buy it from there, and then it will tell you how to install the eSIM onto your phone. So if you have an iPhone, it'll be in the settings. It'll be in like the cellular settings, and then when you before you get on the airplane, you're going to switch it over, and then when you get there, it's automatically going to activate. Now, if you're on an Android phone, it's a similar process. You're going to order the eSIM from the application, and then you're going to add the eSIM to your phone using the settings menu. And then you cannot, like I said, you cannot activate the data plan until you get to the country. But once you buy the credit and you install the eSIM, the physical the eSIM to your phone, then it will just work when you land. It will just automatically activate
Gotcha.
the data. Okay, so the second eSIM that I'm going to recommend now, because there's a lot of things about it, is called Journey in Japan. I have never used this, but I am going to use this for my trip coming up in March, because I'm going to make the announcement now. I am trying to go to HoloFest 7th HoloLive Expo 2026 and 7th Fest. So I'm going to be using this one. Now, this one supposedly has a Japan exit point and uses NTT Docomo exclusively. So that means you're going to have an advantage, because your exit point is going to be in Japan instead of in France. Now, I don't know this 100%, but a few live streamers and I think abroad in Japan actually has an investment in this too. They are using this. So this is what it is. Okay. We're gonna answer. Yeah, studio. I know that's a question that is not serious, but I will be taking questions as soon as we're done here. But essentially,
Yeah, y'all can start throwing in questions while we're talking. That way, they're already ready by the time
Yeah,
he's finished.
yeah, exactly. So this is going to be basically the same thing. You're going to get an eSIM here. It has a page where you can find eSIM compatible devices, and it has an FAQ.
This
Yeah.
are
So
the
then you're going to put your phone.
Pixel phones?
Yeah, the Pixel phones will work.
Oh, that's for Apple. Wait, no, never mind. I'm dumb. Right here. Stupid. So, oh damn. Okay, so the older Pixels, but they haven't.
No, it will work. It will work.
I'm talking about the newer Pixel.
No, it will work. It's just that it wasn't launched when this page was launched, but it will work.
Okay, yeah, because
as long as you have the ability to add eSIMs unlocked, then you're fine. But what I found is that, I'm not sure if this is true for the brand new Pixels, but I found that even the iPhone 13 Pro has more bands for Japan than the Pixel 7 does. But I know that Samsung, it depends on the model, But if you have a basically, if you have a flagship phone like a Galaxy S phone, you're guaranteed to have at least some of the bands in Japan. Um, there is a way to actually find out what bands your phones are, and that is going to be on GSM Arena, gsmarena.com. You can look up your phone and your specific model, and then it will tell you what 2G, what 4G and 5G bands it supports, LTE and 5G bands it supports. So you go to GSM Arena, you put your phone in, and then it will show you what bands your phone has. So Pixel 10 Pro, and you're going to go down to where it says network. It's at the top. It's at the top. It's the first line.
Oh,
So you're going to go collapse there or expand. Then it will tell you all the 4G bands. Now it depends on the model of what bands it is, and however, though, I believe you have probably the UR one because it supports sub 6 and millimeter wave. But you can look up in Japan what bands. I think, if I remember correctly, on the 5G it supports band 78, which is not supported on the US model. Band 77 is, and then you also have band 1, and I think band 8, 1, 5, and 8 on the 4G. But like I said, you can go and look up Japan LTE and 5G bands, and then you can compare it to what your phone has.
right.
But if you have an iPhone, then you're golden. You'll have all the bands automatically. So make sure to check your phone for compatibility. And if not, just get a phone that actually has the bands, and then you can just put the eSIM there.
Of course.
And then from there, once you get the eSIM, and once you get it on there, then you can add them. You can then create a hotspot on your phone, and you can connect all your devices to that. So that will be much faster than having the hotspot, and also be cheaper because then of course it means that you don't have a freaking hotspot to lose.
Right.
So now with eSIMs, it's a no-brainer. Just get an eSIM from either of these, and then you'll have a good time. But I will be making a review of the Journey Japan eSIM in March during my trip.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. So that's number one.
Right.
Number two, I did not know of this the last time, but now when you're packing your clothes, I would highly suggest getting one of these. This is a packing cube set, and you can basically get all this, and then you could put this into your carry-on, put all of your clothes in there, and then it includes a laundry bag. And it organizes your clothes so you don't have to freaking fold them like crazy. You can just fold them into these packing cubes, and then you could just stick them into your suitcase, and then they just work. And then you could put your dirty laundry in the black bag that they have, or you could probably just get another bag, and if you bring a lot of clothes, and then your clothes will be separated. And then you can just do your laundry like that. But the most important thing is you won't have to freaking play Tetris with your freaking luggage to try to fit all your clothes.
I guess there's versions of it that add more stuff.
Yeah, there's like an 8-piece, but usually if you want to do like a carry-on thing, it's 5. A set of 5 would be enough. And of course, it comes in different colors.
And then you would just put this in your suitcase?
Yep, you just put whatever you need in the suitcase, as you see there. I mean, the video is not freaking loading, but
yeah, I don't understand why the video isn't loading, but it's okay. Continue.
But you could see in the thumbnail that you just pack the packing cubes into your suitcase, and then you just close the suitcase up.
Too easy.
So, yes. Now, update for the Japan Rail Pass. So the Japan Rail Pass at the end of 2023. Went up in price. And the Japan Rail Pass, I know it's crazy. The Japan Rail Pass, you just do japan-rail-pass.com.
Oh, okay.
For one of them. They have increased the price by a lot. To put this into perspective, when we made the video last, a 2 week so from the price difference between a 2 week green car pass versus then is the price of a 1 week green car pass now. So the price is a lot. The price went up a lot. However, things have changed. Number one, they actually issue a ticket, a physical ticket now that actually works in the ticket gates. That's number one. Number two, as you can scroll down, you can actually use the Nozomi or Mizuho Shinkansen now. Because before, with the old price tier, you couldn't do that. Now you can, however, you have to pay a fee. For example, if you're going between Tokyo and Osaka, you have to pay about an extra 5,000 yen each way. But at least it gives you the option now to actually do it, because before they did not. Also, with this new ticket system, you can actually go up to any ticket machine in any train station that you can reserve a Shinkansen seat, and all you have to do is scan the QR code on the side of the machine, and then put your passport number in, put your train in, and you have your ticket. You don't have to wait online anymore.
Also, Omar has a question for you.
How much money would you recommend taking to Japan? As in on your person?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yes. Yeah, so on your person, I would say if you are not paying for your hotel in cash, probably maybe like 1,000, maybe 700 to 1,000. I know you can actually like take out the money while you're there too. But if you want to, if I would say at least like maybe if you're just getting there and just want to survive for the first couple of days, maybe I would say 50 to 100,000 yen on your person would be fine. That's about 350 to 500, about $700 on you. And you can hold on to that, because then you don't have to worry about going to an ATM at a 7-Eleven or Japan Post Office, because those are the only two places that you will be able to have an international ATM.
So for Americans, that means you should have about $300 to maybe $400 on you.
Yeah, about three to $500 on your person. In yen, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that much money, just to start, because you have to be able to, like, let's say, if you're in a position where you have to buy a Suica card. And by the way, so we're going to talk about this too. If you have an iPhone, you can actually get a Suica card that actually embeds into your iPhone, and you can actually use a US credit card to fill up the Suica card in yen. So if you have an iPhone, then my brother did this too, and it was a great idea. Then you can get a Suica card for your iPhone, and then all you gotta do is just tap with Apple Pay, with the Suica card, and then you can get through your ticket gates and stuff. Yeah.
And then Orion said he did about $800 in the bank exchange.
Yeah, that's about right. Yep. That's about right.
So
now, if you do not have now here's the thing. Now here's the caveat. If you do not have an iPhone, unfortunately, the Suica app for Android is region locked to Japan, and we'll hope that it's going to change. However, in this case, I would say get a physical card, because the physical cards are good for 10 years, and that's why I say you should always have cash on you, because you should be able to buy a Suica card for like 500 yen and then put a value on it. I would usually put like maybe 5,000 or 10,000 yen, and that's usually good for the whole trip, because the Japan Rail Pass, as I mentioned in the previous video, it is only good for JR lines and the Shinkansen, anything that's JR. Any private railways or subways or metro systems, they don't take those. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say about that.
What is the difference between a green one and an ordinary one?
Okay, so the ordinary one is just basically the basic class. It's the regular class. It's the regular class on the trains, on most local trains, and on the Shinkansen. you will have the normal seats, which are just basically think of it like premium, like economy airline seats, where they don't they only recline just a little bit, and you get like little bit of leg room, and I think it's a 3x2 configuration for the seats.
Okay.
The green car is kind of like the business class. So on the Shinkansen, you'll get a 2x2 seating, but you get like fully reclining seats, larger seats, and also the ability to go on green cars, which have those same type of seats that you get on a normal class of Shinkansen, except they're usually double-decker cars on like middle distance trains.
So would you?
So, and also it's quiet. It's also quieter. I would recommend people get it, but now I did the math after the price increase, and for the green car, because if you go on there is a ticketing system for the Shinkansen. I forget what it is right now, but it's something EX. I calculated the prices for the green car on that app versus what's on the what's potentially on like the green car ticket for the rail pass, and my calculation still stands true to this day. If you do 2 round trips in 1 week, then the green car pass is worth it. And likewise, for the 14-day, you will have to do 4 round trips. So that means going to Tokyo and to whatever you are, and then coming back. Like, you have to do at least 2 times for a 1 week and 2 times for 14 days.
What would you suggest
Now,
people get?
these days, I would suggest, if you're going to do like the 10 to 14 day route, which I recommended the last time, just get a 1 week. And the reason why is you can then use your Suica card, or you can use a Tokyo subway ticket to get around Tokyo through the private railways and through the metro lines, and then do like your week there, and then do the last week to do traveling to other cities.
Okay, my question then is, should they get the green one or the ordinary one?
If you have the money, and if you want to travel in comfort, green car. If you are on a budget, get the regular.
So, just get
Orion Sword asks, "Would this is better alternative to Suica?" No, it's not, because as I mentioned, this is only good for the JR lines. The JR Pass, the Japan Rail Pass, is only good, in my opinion, if you use the Shinkansen to go back and forth between Tokyo. If you are just traveling inner city without traveling too far, then don't get it, because then you might as well just put all that money on the Suica card and then travel that instead. So there's an example of the regular cars versus the green cars, and on one of the lines anyway.
Wait, so should I look up the Suica card real quick then?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna add another tab. Was it SUICA?
ICA, yeah. Suica card, yeah.
So
There
JR
you go.
East.
Yeah, JR East one, yeah. And by the way, the Penguin is going away in 2027. So if you want a Suica card with that old design, you want to get it. So yeah, so the Suica card, like I said, is an IC card. You could tap it on the ticket gates, as well as if you can actually upgrade to a green car if you have the Suica by just tapping.
So this is how much it is per ride, I guess?
No, that's no. That's the minimum amount that you could put on the card. Because it'll be 1,000 yen would be 500 plus 500. So all these prices include the 500 yen fee for the actual card.
So it's 500 plus 500, 500 plus 1,500, 500 plus
500 plus
25. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because that'll be the total price. That'll be the total price right now.
And so the 10,000 yen is about $64. Now, so just to reiterate, the Suica card is good for what? What would you use it mainly for versus what you use the
Japan Rail Pass?
Yeah.
So the Suica card will be useful for any mode of transportation that isn't Japan Rail. So basically, your buses, your private railways, and your subways.
So if you were just getting around the city, not necessarily if you're
Yes,
going to different
not
cities.
right, and also and also yeah, you can use a Suica also obviously on JR too, but the Japan Rail Pass, you'll be able to use it on any JR operated lines as well as the Shinkansen, and that means it's like all inclusive. So all you gotta do is just
So
put your
that's
ticket in the gate, and then you would just
so
go
that's
on
just
the
for
ride.
example. That's like you're just staying in Tokyo, right?
Yes,
Then you would suggest a Suica card if you're just staying in Tokyo.
Suica card only. Correct.
But if you, let's say you were going to Tokyo and then you were jumping to like Osaka or something like that,
Yes, you would
then
definitely get it.
okay. So that's the general idea. If you're staying in the one city the whole trip, you'd probably be fine just using a Suica card. But if you're
Yes.
planning to travel to different cities in Japan, then definitely get the JR pass.
Yes, because if you are using it as, like I said, 2 round trips in a week or 4 round trips in 2 weeks, then it's worth the money.
And this is just an idea for those who didn't see before.
So that's the regular
Regular,
class
green,
and the green
and
card.
then the prices each. Now it is pretty pricey because this is about the 10,000 yen, for example, only gives you it translates to less than $100 for. So if you're on a budget, the Suica card is great. But if you do plan to go to other places outside of like one particular city, like Tokyo, for example, then expect. But see, I think we also have to put in perspective. Like, let's say you were going to like that. I'll use Osaka because I said Osaka before. How long of a ride is that? Like,
All right, so on the Shinkansen, it's 3 hours.
so yeah, you're essentially taking. So the money seems like a lot until you realize like depending on where you're going, the distance kind of justifies the money.
The cost.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
cost. So
yeah,
like because 50,000 yen translates to about 300 and some dollars. But considering you're doing a to and from 3 hour trip, it's kind of it's
yeah.
not
Because the
it's
air, because
different.
an air, because let's put this into perspective. If you could get the best price that you could probably get on either a JAL or a ANA flight with the tourist discount, it's about $100 each way.
So that
And of course,
which is why he said if you can do 2 round trips in a week, then you've made the week one worth it. And if you do
yes,
four round trips in the 14-day one, it's automatically worth it.
correct. Because also you also have to remember that the time that okay, to put this into perspective, it takes 2 hours on a plane to get from Haneda to Osaka, and of course it's going to put you at the airport, so you still have to get back into the main city. Now you also have to remember that you have to go to the airport, you have to check in, you have to board, and then 2 hours after that, then you have to get your luggage. You have to then travel to the city center, and that then the time, the whole thing about time is money. The Shinkansen is faster because you'll be getting off at Shin Osaka Station, which is about 5 minute ride to the actual Osaka station that's in the main downtown area. So again, just get on the damn train and take it 3 hours, 3 hours and 15 minutes, and it's faster than going through the airport. And
Right.
you can pretty much get, and unlike having to deal with the flights, you can just book a train, and maybe get a train. Even if it's full, you probably could get on the next one, which is probably like half an hour or an hour later, instead of having to deal with flights where then you're forced to take that one flight at that specific time.
Right.
And that's why I say that um, if you're just going to Osaka, then just get a rail pass and then just get on the train.
Exactly.
So,
Let's
so okay, so we've established that. So now I'm going to describe the door-to-door experience. So we've touched on this about a little while ago, but I'm going to give you the exact scenario right now. So go ahead. So the day has arrived. Okay, you have all your stuff packed. Okay, let's go to the airport. Remember, the airport check-in opens up 3 hours before the time, except if you're on a domestic flight. Then domestic rules apply, right? So whatever it is, you get your ass to the airport. You go to the check-in counter. Go to the check-in counter, because then you'll be able to, first of all, then explain that, first of all, then you don't have to deal with a bag drop. You don't have to deal with the piece of shit receipt boarding passes that they give. You rather just get like a nice ticket based one, because they're going to put the
Well,
the
can't
check.
you also do it on your phone depending on which airline you're on?
Yes, that's true, but they also have to still give you the luggage tags.
Yeah, of
You
course.
still have to give you, yeah, you still need the luggage tags, the luggage coupons that go in the back of the boarding pass anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you still need to bring those, and I would rather just have it. I'm still old school when it comes to that. So you drop off your bags. Okay, get through security. All right, good. So now we're going to count the actual like big flight. We're not going to count like the smaller flights, like for example they're from Phoenix, like for example Phoenix to SFO. We're not counting that because that's like a normal domestic flight. The real thing is when you get to the long haul flight. So you're going to be on an airplane anywhere between 10 and 15 hours. So how the hell do you psych yourself up for that? Well, first of all, also there's another thing sorry, I should have prepared this. But also I would suggest a
Oh,
separate neck pillow to put around your neck. Now, yes, airlines do give you the pillow, but get one of those donut looking pillows, the ones that go around your neck, because that will save your
so
neck.
this or something else?
Though that same style, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Any kind of neck pillow that goes around the neck, and then you could tie it or whatever, like a donut, or whatever the hell it is. That will save your neck, because you're gonna need to sleep on the plane 100%, because you're gonna need to sleep, because you're gonna be tired. You don't want to be like groggy and stuff like that. So get a neck pillow. Then, as soon as you take off of that long haul flight, take your shoes off, because because I've been to Japan 8 times, that my feet tend to expand in my shoes during the flight, and that is really uncomfortable. So the best thing to do would be to just take your shoes off and just leave your socks on, and then if you're most likely you're going to be in economy, I would say you could then shimmy your feet underneath the seat in front of you to get leverage, so that when you do fall asleep, you'll be like kind of at an angle, and then you'll be able to sleep better
It's like
that
the
way.
illusion of laying down without actually laying
Yes.
down.
Yeah, correct. But you want to do that, because then it would be very. I find it very comfortable to do that. Now I'm 5'10", so make sure you do that. Um, like I would say, like, try to aim to try to sleep about maybe 90 minutes to 2 hours after within 90 minutes to 2 hours after you had the first meal of the flight, because as I mentioned the last time, most of these flights have two meals: the takeoff meal and then the meal before landing. And after the first one, you want to make sure that you get some sleep, because that's the most important. And then and then you would put your shoes back on just before landing. I would say like maybe 45 minutes before you land, because they're gonna give the warning about maybe half an hour or an hour before they land. So right when they announce that they prepare for landing, you put your shoes back on, and that's probably the best advice that I would give, because then your feet won't be hurting you, because you're going to have to walk a lot. So when you finally touch down, you're going to get out of the plane. You're going to get out. You're going to get your carry-on luggage out, and then you're going to walk through the corridors to the customs. Now, depending on the time of day that you arrive, either Haneda or Narita, because it was the same thing. So basically, you're going to be going into the customs line, and you're going to be basically there between, I would say, 30 minutes to an hour on average. And what they're going to do is, as you snake through the line, they're going to have kiosks that you're going to put your two index fingers, and they're going to take a picture of you. And that's going to register you in the system, and you have to put your passport as well. And then you're going to go down the other lane, and then get ready to be seen by the customs officer, the immigrations officer. And here is the big deal. Now, Terrell, please go to the Visit Japan page. Now, the Visit Japan page is very important. The Visit Japan page is Visit Japan web, which we have on the screen right here. We're going to refresh it. You're going to create an account there before you leave on your trip. Once you have your itinerary all set, then you're going to create an account on this website, and then you're going to create an account.
I don't know why that works.
That's weird. You're going to create an account, and then in there you're going to put in your passport. You're going to put in your email. You're going to sign up with your email and password. Then you're going to create a trip with your passport number. And then they're going to ask you a few questions like how long is your stay, where are you staying at, what's your is it for what do you do, is this for business or for pleasure or whatever, and you're gonna fill out. This is basically like filling out the immigration card, the physical card, except this is online. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna fill that out before you take off. And then once you're done, you're going to have a set of QR codes. And then you're going to reload them once you land at the airport. And then you're going to show the QR code. You're going to scan the QR code at the customs officer. And then that's about it. Then then once you pass through, you get your luggage. And then you go to another kiosk where you have to put your fingers once again, scan the QR code, and then scan your passport. And then after all that's done, after that's all said and done, you then go through you then show the printed receipt to the exit officer, and then you take your luggage, and then you go. Then you're out into the airport terminal, past customs. And then from there, you would either get a Suica card and then put money on it, or use your Suica that's already on your iPhone.
Can you get the Suica card in the airport or no?
Yes.
Okay.
You can get the Suica card in the airport. No, wait, let me think about this for a second. If you're at Haneda, you will only be able to get a Passmo card. So I would suggest maybe just getting a ticket if you don't have one, because I would suggest getting a Suica card, because the Suica card is more compatible with certain things. So you could probably just get a ticket and be done with that. But I think there might be Suica things at the airport, but I will confirm that 100% with you the next time I go.
Okay.
But anyway, get yourself an IC card and then just get on the train. Now, here is a tip I did not say specifically last time, but here is a top tip. Before you even get out of your house, research how to get out of the airport to your hotel through Google Maps, because Google Maps will help you. And then if you have to, screenshot it. Okay? Because that will save you a ton of time in trying to look up Google Maps, just in case you have issues with your data. And just by doing that and practicing like your scenarios on how to get from the airport
to your hotel, that will save you a ton of time. Like a freaking ton of time in terms of, being lost. Because then you'll say, oh, okay, I'm supposed to take the Tokyo monorail to Hamamatsucho, get off, take the Yamanote line to blah, 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 Ueno or something. So, okay. So now you're on your way, right? So now you're on your way. You go to the hotel, and hopefully, if you come in on the afternoon, you'll just be able to check into your hotel. You're in your hotel room. Bob's your uncle. However, there might be cases, just like in me, that you're too early. Like, for example, I would come in at 5 o'clock in the morning because I'm a crazy man, but also because I like to not lose that day. So what I would do is I would get to my hotel first, drop my luggage off. They would usually give like a baggage claim thing or whatever, and then come back at the check-in time. Now, with that being said, I'm going to actually, the great thing is Terrell has the maps up anyway. So here are my ideal locations to stay in Tokyo if you are intending to travel between cities on the Shinkansen. There is a area on the east side, on the northeast side of Tokyo, between Tokyo Station and Ueno, that I would highly recommend staying in, because then you will be very close to, number one, getting to the train to the airport, or two, getting to the train where you can actually get to the bullet train faster. So you can either stay in like Kanda, you could stay in Asakusabashi, you could stay in Akihabara, Okachimachi, Ueno, and maybe Nippori. That'll be okay too, depending on where you're at. And also Asakusa. That area on the northeast side, I would recommend. Because I know there's a lot of people that would say, oh, I would love to stay in Shibuya Shinjuku. But the biggest problem with that is that when you get out of the airport and when you get into Tokyo, you're going to be on the east side. So you have to now drag your ass to the west side in order to get to places. And then that makes it tougher, especially if you're coming back late on a Shinkansen and you're barely able to catch the last train. Because then you will say, okay, now you have to travel another 25, 30 minutes because you decided to stay on the west side of Tokyo instead of the east. And that'll also add to the time going back as well. Because you can get from the east side to the monorail or the Toei Asakusa line to get to Haneda Airport within 30 minutes to an hour. While you have to add about another 20 to 30 minutes if you're staying like Shibuya Shinjuku. Now, I'm not saying don't stay in those other places, because I have stayed in places like Akasaka, which is south of the Diet Building, which is like in central Tokyo. And I've also stayed near Hanzomon, which is more central north. And those are wonderful places to stay, like in terms of like neighborhoods. But I am looking at it from a convenience standpoint.
Right.
Because all in all, you, in my opinion, you do not want to have to travel a long time after you've come out of the airport. Now, if you come out of Narita, you're kind of screwed anyway, because you're going to have at least an hour added and then whatever it is added. But that's why I say try to go to Haneda, because most airlines go to Haneda now. But if you're stuck in Narita, don't fret. Narita's still a fine choice. And you could either take, if you're staying near Ueno, you can take the Skyliner, or if you want to activate your Japan Rail Pass, and then you can take a Narita Express to Tokyo Station, and that'll take you an hour, and then you can just travel from there. So it really depends on which airport you arrive at. if you're arriving at Haneda, then you can either take the monorail to Hamamatsucho and then get off and then take the Yamanote line or the Keihin Tohoku line to wherever you need to go. If you are using the KQ line, that interfaces with the Toei Asakusa line, so you can actually just take one train and then you're basically on the east side of Tokyo within a reasonable amount of time, like 30 minutes or an hour. So again, I would recommend staying in the area between Tokyo Station and Ueno for like easiest access to the airports and the Shinkansen as well. Because if you take the Tohoku Shinkansen, which goes up to places like Sendai and Aomori, then you can actually get on. Here's a top tip. I would usually get on the train going north from Tokyo Station, but coming back, I would take it just to Ueno, because then I could get off and transfer on to local trains, so I don't have to freaking go through the mess that is Tokyo Station coming back. So yes. And let me just think about it off the top of my head. I think that's actually all of the. Wow, actually, that was pretty good. That was like 1 hour. We got pretty much the addendum that I needed, and then pretty much the experience from door to door. From going from your door to your hotel. So we're going to leave the floor for questions at this point because we have plenty of time. So get your questions ready, and then I'll be able to answer any of them. As you're writing all your questions down. So as I mentioned, I'm trying to go to Hololive 7th Fest and the expo associated with that. I already have my hotel booked, and as a matter of fact, the lottery results as of right now at this moment, the first round ends. Actually, the first round ended, but the results will be announced in 3 hours' time.
So you'll know, and you'll at least know about the round one stuff soon.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Hololive decided that the concert tickets themselves are only for club members. So I'm not eligible for that. The expo tickets are open.
What do you mean when you say club members?
Okay, Hololive made a club made a fan club.
Oh.
And if you pay like 6,600 yen a year, you can get, perks such as this, which is like early access to concert tickets. The problem is, and I found this out from the Louis English Discord, is that if you say that you are foreigner, you will not get any physical gifts, which sucks.
Why?
Because they won't ship it out.
Oh.
And at that point, it's not worth it. And I told people, I said, I am not spending 6,600 yen for something that isn't guaranteed.
Also, I have a question while people are in the chat thinking.
Yes.
Sure. For the first, that's your first trip to Japan. What are places you think a first timer should definitely go check out?
Now, I'm going to make different recommendations than everybody else because the problem is you have the over-tourism problem. I would say, if it's your first time, visit Tokyo Dome City, which is in Tokyo. I would say go to Skytree. Skytree is pretty popular. Go to Chiba, the city of Chiba. That's beautiful. That's on the east. Go visit Tsukuba. That's Tsukuba, because that's a suburban town which is beautiful, and you can take the Tsukuba Express up there. I recommend go visiting Tama City, even though it has they have Sanrio Pearl Land over there, but I really like that area because it's like very a very relaxed, like suburban area. By the way, folks, just to let you know, Poke Park Kanto is opening up in February over there. It's in. Why am I drawing a blank right now? It's in. What is it? God damn it! Where is it? Yeah, the Pokemon Kanto. It's in another theme park. Um, it's in another theme park. Oh, it says up there, Terrell. Go up. Go down. Yeah, Yomiuri Land. Now they're opening up in February, but unfortunately you can't get any tickets right now because they're all sold out. I almost had the opportunity to take one, but to get a ticket, but I had no money at the time, and also I would not personally want to go there alone because the tickets are expensive. Like just to do, you want to go to the official website and go through the ticket thing. No. The Pokemon Kanto one.
Oh.
Pokemon Kanto tab. On the top, you see, get tickets. So you're gonna scroll to the bottom, and then you'll see the prices, ticket prices. You gotta go to the next one. You gotta go to the next one.
Oh, you mean like? Oh, I had to pick a date probably.
No. You have to pick the month because remember it's not opening until February. So now scroll down. Scroll down and you get the prices. You can't choose. So just to get in on the blue day is $4,700. To actually do the events, you need that's $7,900, and that's a slot in the shows. A free pass, which has everything, costs 1,400 yen, so that's like $95. So it goes anywhere. So if you want the real one, you need to get the Ace Trainers Pass, which is anywhere between $90 and $105. Because the other ones, they'll give you access like trainers pass at the bare minimum you will need to get. But I decided not to do it because I'd rather go with a group. Because an experience like this, you want to go with friends. I would not do this alone. I would personally not do this alone. And also, the first few months are going to be chaotic everywhere because everybody and their dog are going to go. So that's one thing. So with that being said, other places that I would recommend going, even though it's in Tokyo, and I'd still say go to Shinagawa. Shinagawa is beautiful. Yokohama, obviously. Nagoya is nice, especially if you go by the wharf, where you have I think they had like a haunted house and stuff over there as well in Nagoya. If you're going to do Kyoto, 100% recommend the Kyoto Railway Museum. It is legitimately the best train museum I've ever been to in my life. And at 1,500 and at about, I think it was it was like freaking 15 or 1,600 yen. And it was the best experience I ever had in my life. They had 13 steam engines in the wheelhouse on display. And actually the picture is on the bottom left there. For the wheelhouse, they actually have a functioning turntable with steam trains. And they actually do have steam train rides, but the museum is huge. It's 3 floors, has a ton of events, has a ton of rolling stock. It's legitimately like the best railway museum that I've ever been to in my life. Okay, so, and then of course Osaka. Go to Dotonbori, go to Nipponbashi because Nipponbashi is the Akihabara of Osaka, and of course go to Akihabara, obviously. Go to Ueno. Akasaka. Okay, Asakusa if you want, the kind of traditional stuff. Go to Akasaka. It's like a downtown area with like tons of like izakaya and bars and stuff. It's a beautiful area. It's like buildings and stuff, but for me, it was like my first love. I stayed there the first 2 times, and I love that neighborhood. Love that neighborhood a lot.
So were you jumping areas every day, or
No. So basically how it was is this: I had home base in Tokyo. And then whatever these cities that I want to go to, I just get on the bullet train and come back at the end of the day. If you want, you can feel free to just book another hotel in the city that you're going to and do an overnight stay if you're really into it. But I would say book a hotel as your home base, and then take the train everywhere.
Okay.
Because it is possible to do an okay amount of Osaka in a day, but you would have to get in a train at like 7 o'clock in the morning, because by the time you get down, it'll be like 10, and that's pretty much when all the stuff will open, and then you can get on a train at like 5 about 5 o'clock, and then you'll be back by about like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So, but of course, if you have the rail pass, you're free to do whatever the hell you want. So if you want to say go to Kyoto one day, right, and then go back, and then let's say you want to do, and then if you have time during Kyoto to like maybe go to Osaka, because it's only about 30, 45 minutes, and then do a couple things there, and then go back and do a full Osaka thing, that would be good as well. So that's how I would do it, because I know a lot of people like KG, they went and they did like stays at certain areas for a certain period of time. I am not for that, because then you have to lug your luggage everywhere. At the most, if you're going to be doing an overnight stay, just put like a change of clothes in a backpack, and then just stay at a hotel overnight, and then just leave the next day to go back. If that's your intention, because you don't want to be like rolling around luggage. And of course, on the Tokaido Shinkansen, in order to use the baggage areas, you have to book them in advance. It is not like the past where you can just leave your luggage anymore. And that's because there was a lot of overcrowding on the trains. And that's why they have the reservation system now for the luggage. So I would suggest make a home base in Tokyo, and then just travel everywhere on the train to different cities.
I think Orion had something for you.
Yes, of course. I was just about to get to that. So Orion asks, so curious, for events such as going on collaboration cafes, what site would you normally use to put in a reservation if needed? The official website. Go to the official website of the cafe that you want to go to. Like, for example, Pokemon Cafe, Gundam Cafe. They would usually have websites that have that you could book directly. Now, the Pokemon Cafe is very weird, because they open the slots to open up for the reservations open 30 days in advance at 6 p.m. JST, which means that you have to be there at 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern in order to reserve. And most of the time, you'll get shut out, because the latency will be so bad. Okay, so they have 2 Pokemon cafes now. They have one in Nihonbashi, which is in Tokyo, and one in Osaka. Now, here's the thing, though. If you are lucky, it's in Japanese, but they have English stuff. So if you are lucky for the Pokemon Cafe, you might have instances where the day of or early that morning, you'll have reservations free up because people cancel. And that could be a way for you to get in.
But it's a gamble, because you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But if you want to get like reservation tickets for any of these cafes, do it on the official website. Do not trust third parties.
Should you do it before, like I guess it depends on the cafe, I guess.
Yeah, it depends on the cafe. So what I would do is, if you like, let's say for example, you're planning to go 8 or 9 months from now, observe the websites and see the patterns that they use for reservation. The other thing is, by the way, Nintendo Museum, they have lottery systems as well, but they also have a general sale. If you follow them on Twitter, they will have a specific time of the month that they will open up like free reservation that isn't part of a lottery system. Because the Nintendo Museum did not exist when we did this video.
Yeah.
When we did the last video, and now it's there. Ah, gold. How you doing? Gold mine.
Let's see.
By the way, gold mine. You got to check out Rika because Rika is going to have a show at a convention or whatever in Malaysia in January. So go on Rika's official site, and then they'll have a thing for that where you can actually go see Rika in person perform.
What's up?
Ah,
They were terrible, y'all. Oh, these are the lotteries, I'm guessing.
yeah, so it'll tell you what dates like the lotteries are. Yeah, Rika. She's going to be in Kuala Lumpur like next month. So,
Or you could buy them. It's up to you how you want to handle it.
yeah, so you see there it says tickets up to February now available for purchase, or you can do the drawings for March right now. So you see there February is on sale.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they actually have stuff available. That's nice.
There's a couple of dates. There's a bunch of different dates, actually.
Yeah, actually a good amount.
Actually, what about the theme park? Where's the Nintendo theme park at?
That's in Universal Studios. It's in USJ, Universal Studios Japan in Osaka.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, so basically they have like one time slot open. But hey, that's better than nothing.
Yeah, because usually you don't even get that much. Also, I'm gonna
Yeah,
close
exactly.
some of this stuff out. I'll keep that up just in case.
Universal Studios Japan.
Fine.
Universal Studios. Well, it's Universal Studios Japan, but it's in Osaka. There you go. And you have to get tickets for that too, if you want to go.
It's all expensive. That's what I did my first time in Japan. I would take day trips to different prefectures. People think it's ridiculous, but you got time to go to different places like Osaka for a day trip.
Yeah, and I would suggest like just get on a train for 1 or 2 hours and go to random places. Like I went to freaking Mie Prefecture, and I went on the freaking Mijumaru liner, and I only went to Matsusaka, and because I realized that it was not because of the beef, but it was because there was a freaking hard off secondhand store that was over there.
Also, question: does Japan have tax or no?
Yes.
Okay.
There is tax. So there's two different types of taxes.
What the hell is this?
The consumption tax is 10%, but if you have a takeout, if you're doing like takeout meal, it's 8%. So that's a 2-day studio pass, but you can do like 1 day or whatever.
What's a 1.5 day? Is that, I guess, a day and a half?
Day and a half, yeah. 2 consecutive days, yeah.
But it doesn't count as a 2-day? I guess this is not.
No. It says there on the bottom. Starts at 3 p.m. on the first day.
An all day the second.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting decision. And then you can get just a traditional 2-day pass. Oh, wait, the largest you can get is the 2-day pass? I'm surprised.
Yes. Well, I mean, you got to remember space and attendance considerations, you know?
I guess that's true. But I don't think you've ever. Have you been to the Universal? I think KG went.
I was supposed to go, but I didn't book anything in advance. And also, that's when I found that that shitty business hotel that was from like the 1970s with fucking the hardest mattress on planet Earth and the fucking green ass bathroom.
Oh god!
And I had to fucking So basically, I stayed there. It smelled like fucking like it smelled old. It smelled musky, and I had like 2 hours of sleep because the pillow was freaking breaking my neck. And I just basically got up at 5 a.m. I said you could keep my other reservation, you keep my other night because I was going to stay there like 2 nights. And then I just decided to take the Shinkansen back at like 6 a.m. to just go back to my hotel because that was horrendous. Never again.
So pretty much to get So if people just want a context of how much you're spending,
About $90. You got to remember. You got to remember that this is like mid-market rate, so you got to add like maybe 5 or 7%.
yeah, of course.
So think about $90.
So if you have about a little bit over 15,000 yen, you have about $100. If that helps a little bit, which means 50 would
Yeah.
be like 700 and something. So it's pretty much every yen equals out to 155. I mean, $1 equals out to 155 yen.
Yes.
It's a little weird if you're not used to the conversion, but you keep track of your money. The best way to do it is like TSS said, take about somewhere around $800 in cash and transfer it into yen and walk around with that, and then the rest of your money, I guess,
You
keep
can just take out just take out of the ATMs or the international ATMs either at now you can either take it at Family Mart, 7-Eleven, or Japan Post offices.
Okay, so if we're just going off of the price, what we've spent so far, let's say 1,300 for the flight. Let's say 800.
Let's say
800. You're walking around with around 800.
Yeah. So about 2,100.
And then
Hotel will probably be around. If you're doing like 12 or 13 nights, if you're staying in a Japanese business hotel, depending on time of year, you're going to be figuring like maybe $1,000 to $1,300.
Yeah.
About $1,000 to $1,300. If you're lucky, maybe you get it for 800. Who knows? But I would say these days, because they increase the tourist taxes, so it'd probably be around $1,000 to $1,300 for like a little bit less than 2
So I'll
weeks.
overshoot and say 1,300. At worst, that means you're spending about 2,600 just between the flight and the hotel, with another gap of about 800 to 1,000 for spending money, / food money.
Yes.
So it puts you a little bit over $3,000. So it's about what we said before, about 3 to 4, about 3,500 to like $4,000.
Yes. Now, of course, that doesn't count like going to concerts or going to conventions and stuff like that. So you're always obviously, like we said in the first video, it's good to just have it like in either an Excel sheet or a Google Doc or a freaking OneNote or whatever, something that you could reference and then just crunch the numbers yourself, so you have a better idea of how much you're going to need. Because also remember, you need the travel insurance, which is going to be a couple of $100. You're going to need the Japan Rail Pass. If you need a Japan Rail Pass, you have to calculate for that as well. And then whatever other things you need for like the Suica card or the balance.
Here's my question. Considering how much you're spending, would you suggest people get into other stuff like cons or amusement parks as well, considering how much?
It depends. Yeah, it depends. It depends on what you want to do.
I guess the question is, where do you usually fall in that for yourself personally?
Well, these days, I would only go for a concert or an event, because for me, I wouldn't just go there to just do nothing. I need to have a reason to go out there and do something.
So my question, I guess, for you would be then you're past the whole visiting different cities and prefectures because you've already done all that.
No, that is not true. I am not past that phase. No, what I'm saying is that I want to have a solid reason why I want to go.
Okay.
I want to go do it. I want to go attend an event. Okay. That's for me, at least I know that that's going to be one thing that I'm guaranteed to do. And then if something happens, because of course, as you know, and I've made it known in the past, a lot of these like events, they sometimes don't get announced until 1 to 3 months beforehand. But if you are going to an event that is pretty stable throughout the years, like for example, if you want to go to Summer or Winter Comiket, that's in August or in December respectively. If you want to go to Tokyo Game Show, that's September. If you want to go to anything during Golden Week, that's the end of April into early May. So if you know that there are events that happen every year at the same time, and you want to go there, then make it a goal to just at least do that. And then other things will be announced, like maybe surprise concerts or surprise pop-up shops or something like that. And you won't know this until it gets closer. So if you have a reason to go, like an event to go, then I would say yes.
I didn't realize
Try to
Comic-Con
aim
was
for that.
actually literally in a couple weeks.
Yes. I figured that, Gold.
And of course, tickets sold out. Cosplay they got sold out.
That's the early entry. You could still buy. You could buy the wristbands, like usually the week of.
So like not next week, but probably the week after then.
Yeah, because I had to do that. I actually had to buy the Comic-Con book from I think Melon Books, and then that had the wristbands in there. But sometimes you're not that lucky, and you have to buy it the day of. And usually they will have extra wristbands. You just go up to the tent and then you buy it from them. But yeah, but I would suggest everybody do Comic-Con at least once, even though it falls in a very expensive time. At least do it once. I've done it twice. Wonderful times.
Did you buy a lot, or are you just gonna enjoy the atmosphere and the interactions?
I did buy some things, but the thing is though, you can buy the same stuff that they have at Comic-Con, usually in like Melon Books, because a lot of the artists they actually put their stuff in Melon Books, and then you'll find it probably that and Lash and Bang and Mandarake. But if you want to interact with the actual, the Dojin artists, then yes, then I would like highly suggest it. Of course, they have cosplay and stuff too, and that is worth going as well. And I call it controlled chaos because there's a lot of people, but from my 2 experiences in Comic-Con, it was all very orderly. And I would say I recommend it. It's just that the problem is it's going to land in the busiest times of year, and that's going to be a little bit more expensive. But if it's but if you are into anime culture and manga culture and the like, it's one of those bucket list things you got to do before you die. 100%. Because just the experience of being there and experiencing like the whole line and getting freebies and stuff, that's what makes it worth it for me for Comic-Con.
Yeah, the worst times honestly is that the 2 times they show up is in August or December.
Yeah, Gold. My dates are going to be March 3rd to the 16th.
Is that hinging on you winning the lottery, or even if you don't win?
It doesn't matter. The plane tickets are booked already.
Okay, so regardless,
and the hotel is booked. Yeah. So regardless, anyway, I mean.
So what's the plan? I guess the question to you is: let's say you don't win the lottery. What's the plan? What's the game plan?
Then I'm gonna have to try the general sale in February. Yep. And I found out from now they're going to be in the concerts are going to be held at a different halls this time than last year, because it was last year in halls 9 through 11, nice numbers, but now it's going to be a lot in that halls 1 through 3, and unlike last year, they're not going to have a spinning cube in the center, so it's just going to be 2 stages. So that means it's probably going to be more people. They're going to allow more people to get in. So, but I am going in March. And
question,
I just bought a couple
if you win the ticket, what is that in, I guess, let's say you win the lottery, what is that over just buying it normally?
Don't have to deal with the website crashing and missing an opportunity.
Okay.
Because it had happened. Website crashed, and I got fucked.
No, that's fair. Okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's pretty much how you got to do these things. Some people hate. I know a lot of people hate the ticket lottery system. I think, some people say it's backwards. But to be fair, it's to prevent scalping and also to control things. I mean, if you're lucky, you're lucky. If you're not, you're not.
Exactly.
There's always a streaming. There's always a streaming ticket, and as I mentioned to you, Terrell, before like even like a couple of weeks ago, um, unfortunately for me, I'm gonna have to go all the days and all the stages because there are talent that I am gonna want to see.
Of course.
Because Liz is gonna be in stage 2, Louis is stage 1, Flow Glow, is stage 3, and then Suisse and freaking Regloss are freaking stage 4. So all 4 stages I'm gonna have to try to go for, and on top of that, I'm trying to get into a Louis Tomo meeting at an izakaya near the train station. On top of that, on Saturday night. So yeah, so that's the other reason why I decided to do 2 weeks this time. I was originally only going to do about a week and a half, but then I realized if I do that, an entire weekend will be gone and I won't be able to see my friends. So and on top of that, by staying the extra weekend, I finally get to go to a freaking racetrack, horse racing track, which I've wanted to for this is going to be my 9th time, and this is going to be like the very first fucking time that I'm actually going to be able to see a damn stakes race and to go to a racetrack in Japan. So that's one of the main reasons why I just decided to bite the bullet and just do the whole 2 weeks.
Yeah, I got you.
So yeah. But yeah, so anybody have any other questions for planning things to do, please drop it in the comments.
Yeah.
In the comments in the chat on the side, so we can then go ahead and do that.
Hold on, let me see.
So we'll take questions.
Is it called HoloFest? Is that what it was?
HoloLive Expo, HoloLive Expo 2026. Now the site is not like 100% there.
Oh, date's March 6th through 8th. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the expo itself.
Tickets.
I don't know, and I don't care.
Wait for what?
I know what he's talking about, but we're not going to talk about that. You find that out by yourself.
Do I want to know?
No.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, so those are the 4 stages, and the
didn't tell you who's.
Yes, they do. You got to do the special website. Yep, there it is.
So.
Yep, Louis. Yeah, and unlike last year, since they have 3 days, it's going to be spread throughout the 3 days. So, stage 1 is going to be at the end of day 1. Stages 2 and 3 are going to be at the second day, and then the final stage is going to be at the beginning of day 3. Now, there's no creator stage, so that means it's just going to be 4 stages only.
Okay, day 2.
Yes, Orion, 100% the neck pouch, because I recommended that in the first video, 100%. 100%. And I actually recommended Chornik to do the same. And I'm wondering how, and Chornik, as we speak, are still in Japan.
Yeah.
He's on a trip, and I gave him some advice. So it's going to be nice to ask him.
Oh, wow. So we got all of Justice on that.
Yeah, all of Justice, yeah. So Raura, so here's the funny thing. So Raura is coming back to the stage 3 months after her vocal cord surgery. Kind of reminds me when Elton John had his vocal cord surgery in January 1987, and then went on that, then did 2 songs at a AIDS benefit in April of '87. So Raura is going to be supposedly back and singing 3 months after vocal cord surgery because she had nodules.
Luna, Aroha, Risu, Iris, Bay, Shiori.
That's Flow Glow. That's Flow Glow. So you have Riona, you have Nico, you have Sue, you have Chihaya and Vivi.
Okay.
So this is the debut the fest debut for Flow Glow, so that's why I want to go do that. And then stage 4 has Regloss as a 4-piece. We have Toa Sama. We have Marine. I mean, I've seen a lot of these folks already, but
Marine.
reason.
Cali, Crony, Bijou.
Yeah,
Marissa.
Ryan. That's exactly the same one that I bought. The Lewis and Clark one, which is exactly what I recommend.
They fucking. Oh, and Rayden's here
Oh,
too. Cool.
also, I forgot. In the JR East travel offices in like Tokyo Station and the like, they have a pass holder with a neck strap. Buy one of those. Buy one of those and have it around your neck and put the ticket, put your like rail pass and your Suica card in it, because then you'll have it always around your neck. And unlike having it in the pouch actually caused my Japan Rail Pass to in like warmer weather to actually like get heated up and melt, and actually caused me to had to reprint the ticket 2 times. So you want to get you want to get like a pass holder that goes around the neck, specifically designed for like the Suica card and your rail pass. And you could buy that at the JR East Transit Center. Oh yeah, Don Quixote, 100% Don Quixote
Oh yeah, of course.
discount store. Don Key. Of course, Suisse, because even though I've seen Suisse in concert, want to go that. But like I said, I want to see Cali again, and of course, Regloss, and of course, And the funny thing is, they're depriving the Japanese people Blood Raven, but that's fine. Maybe the 8th Fest.
Oh God.
But then again, no, I mean we have Blood Raven.
You
And,
get Blood Raven content all the time at this point. I don't know why we have to brand new all of a sudden.
Yeah, but for the Japanese people,
I figured that'd be more of an Americans that'd be more into Blood Raven than the Japanese. We essentially have pretty much all our English, our Hololive English reps, right?
yeah, that's active. Yeah.
They're
Now here's the caveat. Corone is not appearing because of family health reasons, and Hachama is not appearing because of health reasons. So those are the only two talents that are not appearing at Fest. Because you're going to notice that one of the days there's a gap. That's because that's where Corone and freaking Hachama were supposed to go.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so that was basically it. So, but I'm hoping to at least get Expo, because I wasn't able to get Expo last time, and this year they're supposed to have really nice programs on stage and nice vibe anyway. So, yeah.
Nice.
And of course, they're gonna have the merch pickup and everything, because they got to announce the merch, and that's it's going to be damaging to my wallet already. Although what's actually interesting is that I actually calculated all the prices between, if I get all the Expo days and all the tickets, that would still be about less than half of the cost that I paid between Anime NYC and then all 3 concerts that I went to. Because for that one, because for all for one weekend and Anime NYC weekend, that was close to $1,000. This one will be only about $500, or no, not even, maybe $400.
Oh, really?
Next year around August, Ryan. Nice. Just be aware, August is really fucking hot.
What's really hot though?
95 degrees, 70% humidity. And
Okay.
the low in the morning is like 82 degrees.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal. Even I'm sweating, and I don't normally sweat.
I thought you left for the sweat. For the culture, one might say.
Mm.
Okay. I think we've covered everything.
Yep.
Giving people enough time. If there are any more or an abundance of questions over the next year or so, well, we'll plan for a potential update if there's anything else. Oh,
Oh,
nice.
WCS in Nagoya. Nice.
Cool. But we'll plan for another update if anything else comes up. As of right now, I think this is a pretty good supplement to the original video, which I will link in the description. So you have the old one to go back to, and then this one that has some of the updated stuff. But I hope this was helpful, and I appreciate TSS for coming on and being willing
You're very
to
welcome.
properly explain it to everyone. Considering he probably has the most experience I know of anybody of going to Japan. How many trips has it been?
This is going to be number 9.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure to wait. Yeah. Yeah, Donnie, watch the replay. That's the one thing I really like about YouTube streams is that they just turn into YouTube videos after you finish streaming. So yeah, watch the playback if anyone ever while it's processing. I think it'll still work. As far as the rest of this week, obviously tomorrow's Thursday, so I don't stream. Friday, I will be streaming, but it'll be a little bit earlier because I have things I want to do. Saturday, probably be at the normal time. I don't think we're doing anything specific on Saturday. I will double check, but the point is you will get a Trails of the Sky Chapter 1 stream no matter what Saturday. And then next week is Christmas week, so I will be on break, I will say, after Saturday. After Saturday, I'm taking the week off for Christmas, and then the week I come back is going to be a little weird because when I come back to do the stream, my mother's birthday, fun fact, is New Year's Day, and it's also around the time I do the end of the year ramble. So that's going to be weird, but the end of the year ramble is going to be interesting because there's a couple things I want to discuss, and there will be changes to not only mainly the main channel, but this channel will be affected in some smaller ways too. But I'll talk more about that when it comes. So you'll get streams up until this Saturday, then you won't see me for a week, and then I'll be back streaming that last week of the year, pretty much. As far as, so don't expect anything from me after. You have 2 more streams from me this week. You have Friday stream and Saturday stream. But like I said, I appreciate TSS for coming on again and discussing this. Guys, watch the playback if there's anything you need to miss. And if there's any questions, I will let TSS know so he could probably respond to you guys in the comments if it's anything too crazy. So don't be afraid to put comments if you need to.
Yeah, and in any case, I'm gonna try to at least get at least a couple of the Talk and Drive streams, so just in case, to build up for my trip in March. So if you have any other questions, once I go live and do all that stuff, you can just come to my stream, TSS_Killer on Twitch.
Of course, and I will link his Twitch in the description as well, so you have a quick link to it. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we covered everything. So thank you guys for watching. This has been your boy, the Insane Game Freak, and TSS, give your little outro first.
Okay. It's TSS Killer reminding you to wash your fucking hands, and then we'll see you next time.
Life's a game, play to win. Peace.
Bye.
Later days, peeps. Click. That was effective.
Yeah.